Excited about getting back at home this week. Unbelievable how fast the season has gone. Two more opportunities here at home, and this is where you hope to be. I mean, that's what it's all about. You work all year to put yourself in position to have a chance to achieve your goals, and we've 100-something days now. We've only hit one goal, and here we are down the home stretch now. We've got an opportunity to do a lot, but everything, a lot of the rest of our season really hinges on these four quarters, and this is championship football for us. And I know beginning of the season, when the schedule came out, a lot of people probably felt like that. Oh man, it's going to come down to Clemson, Florida State, last conference game, and that's exactly what it's come down to. There's zero difference. Nothing has changed. If they were undefeated and we were undefeated, we got to win the game to win the division. And guess what? We got to win the game to win the division. So there's zero change in this ball game. And it's Clemson, Florida State. It's been a. I know Jimbo is probably incredibly frustrated, just simply because they've had some tough games. Quarterback gets hurt. They've had a lot of injuries, and then they've had. I mean, they had three plays just come down to literally the last play of the game, and those things affect momentum and so forth and confidence. But let me just tell you, this is a very talented team, and I know we got a lot of people in here to keep up with the recruiting rankings, and we hadn't won a battle yet. I don't think we've ever beaten Florida State in recruiting. Maybe we have. I don't know, but I don't think so. I think they're one or two every year. So they got a bunch of cats that can play. They're big and strong and athletic, got speed everywhere. These are the biggest wideouts. I mean, these guys are huge on the perimeter. Tight end's a very good player. The quarterback has gotten better. He's a young player. He's very talented. He can throw the ball down the field. They do a really good job formationing, creating a lot of opportunities downfield with some of their max protections. Their boots, but the biggest thing is they want to run the football, and we've got to be able to win that matchup. I mean, this Akers kid is a great back. I don't know if Patrick's going to play or not, but he's a great back. And like I said, the quarterback can push the ball down the field. He's got a strong arm, but he's not a big guy, but he's a tough kid. He's a very tough kid and got a good future, as he continues to mature, in his career. Again, just a freshman. But number 8, the receiver, is a great player, very skilled, and they're physical. So, this is a tough matchup. It's Clemson, Florida State. It's what you'd expect. All you got to do is turn on the tape and as a coach, and when you know what you're looking at, and you see a lot of things that present a lot of problems in getting ready for this team. So big challenge there, and then defensively, they're big and fast and strong up front. Got DB. A bunch of them are back. A ton of starters back from last year. A lot of people picked this team to win the national championship. A lot of people picked this team to win the national championship. And, those people who picked them, they picked them for a reason. That's what people do in the offseason. They look at rosters. They look who's coming back. They look at recruiting rankings. They look at all that stuff. And that same team is still there. This defense has got a ton of skill. Number 3 he is a freak. He is as good a player as you're going to see in this league. The guys up front, 91 is a load inside, 99. They're all good players and can run. So, excited about the challenge. Got a left-footed punter. That's a little different going into this game. So we'll work hard on that. Grooms is a left-footed kicker, so he can also do some punting for us to try to give us a little preparation going into the game. But excited about it. I mean, like I said, it comes down to 4 quarters, and you're either good enough to get it done or you're not. And this is where you are. And looking forward to the Valley. I know it's going to be a great crowd and a lot of energy, and we'll Like I said, they got all their, I think every lineman back but one from last year. So all their starters back. So that's been from a talent standpoint, I think they're very talented there. But just their skill. I mean, I think the first thing when you think of Florida State year in and year out is their skill. The running backs, receivers, the DBs, the backers. I mean, they always have guys that can move, and that's no different.
Coach, what's the status of Fields and Edmond? And I presume if one or both are able to play, that we won't see Ray at corner again.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we can presume that or not. I don't know. I just Mark did not practice last night. We just put him. We wanted to put him through our what we call our yellow protocol, just to kind of assess him a little bit more and see where he's at. Did practice. Marcus has been practicing. He just hasn't been game ready. But he's been practicing. Just hasn't been quite confident enough to go play at the level that he wants to play at, and we need him to play at. But we'll hopefully keep progressing through the week, and we just had one day of practice, so we got a long way to go.
AJ, how's he doing?
AJ Terrell?
Yeah, I know he left him.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
This point of the season, how hard is it to navigate practice? How hard to practice? How when the whole
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's something that as a coach you got to always pay attention to. This is game 10. We've been practicing. I mean, these guys grind all summer long. They put a lot into the summers around here. There's a lot of work, and then you have a long camp. We've played a very tough schedule. Every single week is a challenge. Every week, I mean, it is a challenge, and everybody's got guys banged up this time of year, and so we do everything we can, from massages to yoga on Sundays, as I manage the schedule, practice schedule, as we get kind of mid-season, I start tweaking some things schedule-wise, whether it be rep count, periods, times of the periods, usually cut that down, and but at the same time, you got to get ready to play week in and week out. Got to have enough preparation time. But I think this time of year, less is more. I really do. I think we are who we are, and we're either good enough or we're not. And I think the biggest thing you can do is make sure your guys are fresh as possible, mentally and physically, and ready to play on game day.
Coach, in a game like this, like as you get to the top of the hill at home, a big game, I'm just wondering, what are some of your final thoughts as you touch Howard's Rock and get to run down the hill knowing what's at stake when you hit the bottom?
I just really the same as every week. This just is we just know this is the 4 quarters. It's some finality to it, but it's really the same every week. Because if we hadn't taken care of business against Georgia Tech, those 4 quarters, we hadn't taken care of business against Wake Forest, those 4 quarters, we hadn't taken care of business of Boston College, those 4 quarters, then we're not in this situation. So that's why we say every week is the biggest game of the year, and that we try to create that mindset with our players, because that's what it takes. If you don't have that focus, it's hard to get to this point. So it's really it's that level of intensity for me every week. It really is. The only difference this week is if you're able to win it, they're going to hand you a trophy. In the previous, it's kind of just playoff football. It's what we have right now. That's why every regular season game is so important in college football with the system that we have. It really is. It's critical. Just be the same intensity and excited to go play.
What's your philosophy on weightlifting during the season, closer and closer to game day? Different coaches, different thoughts. I'm going to hear what you have to say.
We work hard during the season. It's a big part of what we do. We require 2 days. We're going to get 2 good days of lifting every week, and our power hour guys lift every day, with the exception of away games. Away games they don't lift on Fridays because we leave early, but home games they lift all 5 days, and that's been a big part of our program. it's a huge part of the maintenance of your team, and maintaining, staying strong. But we get 2 days in, and then but a lot of those guys they go in and do a little extra on their own from time to time.
Coach, you've always talked about really focusing, Clemson focusing on Clemson. How much does that thought process play in on a week like this, where you're facing a team that so many of us are used to having at 7, 8, 9, and 0, and this is a huge game, and all of a sudden they come in at 3 and 5? Is that process more important on a week like this?
No, it's Florida State, and we don't their record has zero to do with their ability, their talent. Again, you got to look beyond that. It's easy to just say, oh, they're 3 and 5. Well, they're a bad team. No, they had Miami 0 points at the half, 0. Everybody's got Miami as one of the best teams in the country. So this is a team that's they've had some tough breaks, they've had some hardship. If you just look on a scoreboard and look at a thing, it's really easy to make an assessment. We won 6 games in 2010, but wasn't nobody excited to play Clemson. I mean, every game was, we lost 5 games by less than 6 points. I mean, we were in every game. I mean, sometimes you have some tough games that go your way, go for you, and some that go against you, and that can dictate the course of a season. But that record has zero to do with their talent, their program, the great coaches. So, for us, every week we just want to be the best version of Clemson week in and week out, regardless. But you have certain games that come along that there's just always a little added juice, and Clemson Florida State's definitely one of those games, regardless of the records. I mean, heck, we were I don't remember what we were. That we were like 5 and 4 my first year here at Clemson. 5 and 4, I think. 4 and 5, 5 and 4, I think. Just gotten destroyed by Wake Forest, and they come in here like number 2 or 3 in the country, and we beat them. So when you start worrying about, oh well, they're a 5 and 4 team, they must not be very good, and we're the number 2 or 3 team or whatever. No, it doesn't work that way. You gotta show up and understand who you're playing week in and week out. And, some teams' records bad, and they're bad. They're just bad. It is what it is, but it's not always the case. This is a good football team, like I said, that had NC State down to the wire, Louisville down to the wire, Miami down to the last play. Really dangerous team.
Going on with some of what you just said there, this rivalry is obviously proving to be very special. Recently, you played in arguably the best rivalry in college football, but when you see FSU Clemson matched up, how special is this in terms of what it means to the sport?
I mean, this game right here has really decided the division the last, I don't know how many years. When's the last time? What's that? Since I've been a head coach? There you go. Including 08? Okay, well, there you go. So it's been Clemson, Florida State every year. So it's 9 years now. It's been Clemson, Florida State, one of us in the championship game. So for us, and again, when you look at the schedule and you kind of play the schedule out, and you're like, okay, this is what it's going to take. I think everybody said, well, Clemson's got a good team, Florida State's got a good team. It's a good chance the division may come down to the Clemson-Florida State game. Well, it has. It has. And it's really no different for us. We got to beat them to win it, and if we don't, they can deny us, regardless of what their consequences are. It's the exact same for us. Nothing has changed. So, it's good to be in a situation where you control your own destiny, but, you got to play well, and you got to earn it. And we all know what's at stake this week, and we know the type of Florida State team that we're going to see, the type of effort. But it's just not about that. It's about, how we play and the mindset that we bring to the game.
Dabo, as a player on the field and as a leader off the field, how much of an impact has Wilkins had on the seasons that Bryant, Farrell, and Lawrence teammates are having and just kind of their progress as players?
Well, I think Christian, you know, he was kind of ahead of those guys, kind of out of the gate. I think they're all the same class. I think they all came in here together. They did. And Cleveland ended up redshirting, coming off an ACL. Austin played as a freshman, and a little bit. Played more latter part of the year when I think Shaq got hurt, maybe in the Orange Bowl, but got a little playing time as the year went. And then last year, Cleveland kind of comes out. Austin's hurt, misses a lot of time, and so, you know, and then but Christian's kind of been the mainstay. You know, right from literally from day one, he has been a leader on this team. As a true freshman, the day he got here, maybe that's just a sign of his background, his maturity. He's one of, I think, 10 kids. He's been in a boarding school since the 9th grade. So he lived away from home at a boarding school, and just a different type of maturity to him when he got here, just a different worldly knowledge, if you will, than your typical freshman coming in here, and just very focused on what he wanted to do, and his work ethic was off the charts. Incredibly athletic, but made an impact day one on the field and off the field. And I think that the biggest thing is he's just provided great leadership, and he's provided a model as far as how you work. You know, because everybody sees Christian work. You know, he's got this big personality and all that stuff, but man, he's a worker. Christian is a grinder. He's one of those guys that's over here all the time when nobody's watching, working on his technique. You know, he's whatever little thing. I mean, he was a fat, pudgy kid when he got here, kind of soft around the edges, and now he's, you know, svelte, you know, got a couple abs, you know, 300-pounder. He's just, and that's just him. You know, he's so committed to creating every edge for himself, and he's a very knowledgeable player. But I think he's just served as a good example to his teammates, and he brings great energy to that front. But let me tell you, Clee and Austin and Big Dex, man, those are three grown men right there. The maturity of those three guys, they kind of stand on their own 2 feet. In fact, I think they've impacted Christian now. I think they've really helped him continue his maturation process. Just really, those 4 guys are pretty special.
Personality, you know, kind of going into that is what makes them all unique, right? Because they all have such different personalities but work so well together.
Yeah, they do. You know, Clee comes across as a really quiet guy, and he is. He's got a great personality. He really does. He is so focused. I mean, he's just an unbelievably committed and focused, player. A great teammate. Austin's the same way. I mean, it's just when you got guys that are great players that just care so much about the program, about their performance, about their teammates. I mean, it makes my job a lot easier, and that's who they are. And then Dexter, same thing. He's kind of quiet too on the outside, but man, what a great personality he's got, and a relentless competitor. You know, watch him play last week. I mean, he played great, and he had a bum ankle, and I mean, he was disruptive with his opportunities, and just taking on double teams and just doing stuff that a lot of times don't show up on the stat sheet. But I'm really proud of all 4 of those guys. They